Hello, good morning, good day to you all. Welcome to a new episode of the Check-In, which is this little fragment of the Framework podcast where we get all comfortable, personal, we get real close and nosy with frameworkers that are right now somewhere around the world. And today we have Julian Breheny. How are you, man?
Hey, how's it going, Nico?
Breheny.
I'm good.
Yeah, I always get
However you
that.
want to say it.
It's only like I've known you for what, like 4 years? I should be at the point where I know how to say your surname.
I don't think we say last names. We said Julian and then Sydney Buddy for the last year.
True. Very true. Good point. Dude, you're in New York. How are you? Like, what is
Yes,
happening there?
I'm good. Yeah, I know you know. I'll update for all our viewers. I moved here 2 days
Yeah.
before the lockdown started. Uh,
What a
so,
move. What a timing.
and like the whole thing with New York is it's really hard to get here and you pay a whole bunch of money for like a shitty apartment. At least you're in New York. And now I have all the negatives and I don't
Yeah,
get to
true.
enjoy any of New York.
Well,
I got go on.
you can't leave, can you? Like there is like a strict limitation on leaving the house. Or are you free to walk outside if you want?
You can. It's weirdly not as bad as Melbourne. I know Melbourne right now you get a fine if they find you going to somewhere that's not your house or your work, right? Is that right?
Yeah. It's very complex to understand what limitations are actually in place and like what you can and can't do. That is like my biggest pet peeve with this whole situation. But yeah, like some people like told stories of being fined for like, I don't know, exercising too far away from their houses or like going to another place that was non essential and all that.
Yeah. So, and we don't have it that bad. Most of the stuff that's happening, obviously, they closed all the bars and fun stuff down. So you can't do that anyway. And the rest is just sort of, you kind of look like a jerk in certain friendship groups. If I message people and I was like, hey, do you want to come to my house? Like half of them would be like, you're being a jerk.
Yeah.
So you sort of like your own morals are sort of keeping you in check.
Yeah, well, 100%. And I feel like that the social distancing aspect works just as long as everyone keeps on doing it. So, like inviting people over, it's just a bad idea all the time in during this situation. But like, I was wondering whether you could roam the streets of New York because you might be seeing one of the things that you will never see, which is like the city that never sleeps, that finally takes a nap for a bit.
Yeah, so it's weird because I have walked around a bit, mostly because like just cheap and easy, mostly two places. And as much as it is like quieter than New York will ever be, even compared to Melbourne, it's like there's still people around,
Yeah.
like a fair bit. So not everyone's taking it too seriously, I suppose. Um, but yeah, so I do walk a bit. I should probably do it more. I get in this mindset where I'm like, fine, I'm going to stay in my house, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm
Yeah.
going to shop once a week, then I'm going to be a hermit and then but, yeah, because like 1 or 2 days of that, I'll
We're
try and
losing you,
exercise a
man.
bit.
We're losing you.
Sorry, I just moved to this place, and this internet is
Yeah,
not as good. I don't know how to
it's
fix the internet.
it's okay. Start again.
Okay, where'd you lose me? Sometimes I'll go outside and
Yeah.
do a bit of a walk and exercise, but mostly I'm sort of just staying in. Um, and yeah, trying to do what everyone's doing, being creative, being jealous of your Insta story where you're hanging out with, two comedians and fun people and doing table tennis ball games.
Yeah, well, like we have to try and keep ourselves entertained. Like we are very social people. We are very, I don't know, we need people around us. So like there is this need to play. And like yesterday was such a good example. Like we after dinner we just went like, do you think we can make like a track for like a ping pong ball, like to hit like different pans and like make a weird sound and end up in a glass? And 3.5 hours later, we did it. And it felt like the highlight of the day, 100%.
That was 3.5 hours.
Yes. It was a bit long because we started
Oh
like far
man,
away. We started far away.
it
We
looked
started with
great.
like throwing it by hand and then realizing that there was like too much space for human hair. So like we needed to find a way for the ball to start always in the same way, so we would know how to like make the little thing. And yeah, we had a couple glasses of whiskey in the meantime and stuff. Like it was a whole evening of entertainment. That's what it was. But that's what you need at the
That,
moment.
no, that does sound fun.
It's what you need at the moment. Like I think that like keeping yourself like entertained and I
Yeah,
don't know,
definitely.
uplifted is
Random stuff
is
like that,
is
which
a
is why I
key.
was.
Oh, we're lagging badly.
A few moments later.
What happened?
It just shut down. Is it working now?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
that's better. All right, where were we?
Keeping yourself entertained.
Oh yeah, I kind of fell into the trap. So the first place I went to, it was like I got like a furnished apartment that I booked ahead of time, so I could have like 30 days in New York where I'd just be able to find the next place without stress. Like I was
Right?
locked
Yeah.
in, and I I paid extra money to have it be like right next to the office, so I could just walk to work. And then the day I got here, state declared work from home for everyone. So it was
Sorry
so
if
it
I
was
laugh,
really
but I
great.
find this like hilarious. Like I've been thinking about you so often because, like, what are the chances of a person finally making it to New York the day they put New York in lockdown? Go on. Sorry.
And no, that's right. And I also I did all this stuff. Like I got my phone plan, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be on the move a lot. I'm going to use hotspot a lot. I want like your best plan that has the most like data,
Yeah,
because I won't be using Wi-Fi.
cause
And then so I paid extra, locked in for like 3 months, and then the next day I haven't used data in 45 days. Uh, so that was the other smart thing I did. Just great decision after great decision. So what was I even
literally
saying?
you
Yes,
had zero input on those decisions. Like it's like you made the decision, but you didn't know like what would happen. It's just
no,
it's a great start of a novel. Like whether it's a biography or a novel that you're going to write, please, this has to be the start.
just getting here and then everything shutting down.
Yeah.
Um, but it was good. The other place I was in before this would have been better if you called me. Well, if we'd done this then, because it was like a 3-bedroom furnished place. So like I didn't know the people there, and they both left like day one because like their jobs were finished and they were like no point staying in New York. They just went to their family home. So I had
Yeah.
this 3-bedroom place to myself, and I just sat there and I watched HBO all day because it was free at that apartment.
So you do now have like the equivalent of a degree in HBO series.
I caught up on the things I meant to, like Silicon Valley,
Oh, great
Westworld, all that
show.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about work? How does this affected all of your work? Because as most of us will know, like you moved to New York to start a job with a big design agency. No,
Advertising. Yeah.
advertising agency. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So and that's another funny thing. Like the work is great, and the reason you come to New York, I'm already experiencing it, is like two things. One, all the things we're doing, whenever they're talking like, oh, we're going to get like this person involved or this person involved, like it's a big name that you kind of know. I'm not saying it's like we're going to get Brad Pitt, but it's like
Yeah,
the stuff here is just bigger. So that's really exciting. And the other thing is that, it's just like, I don't know, I've been loving it so far. Everyone's so creative, and so they really promote you doing your own things. Everyone's kind of got their own bits going around. You follow them on Instagram, doing so much cool stuff. This is the people I'm working with. But the downside, like I was learning all about them and like getting all ready to meet up, because I got here and for the first week, they started work from home like I think 5 days after I got here.
yeah,
But for the first 5 days, they were like, don't come in yet, because the company policy was a 1 week personal like isolation quarantine. So
yeah.
during that time, I chatted to a few of them. I was so excited to meet everyone. And then it obviously got shut down. So I'm now working with these people and have been for the last month and a half, and I have not met a single one of them in person. And it's
That
hard
is
because you're doing a lot of
the
go on.
proper social distancing like experience. I'm working with all of these people that I've never met. Like that, those are my colleagues. That is my everyday 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, well, and it's just like Zoom chats are already awkward when you know the person.
Yeah,
And there's all these like social norms, like when, especially in creative spaces, when like you're bouncing ideas off. And if me and you were brainstorming and you wanted to tell me my idea wasn't great, but we could trade it, go into another direction, what you'd sort of do is like, you'd know me sort of like, how I want to hear it and this and that, because, like
yeah, of course.
basically how I respond to certain things. But like none of that nuance exists for me. I have no like understanding of any like non-verbal communication. I'm just go and like I'm just like when you communicate through email, sometimes stuff gets miscommunicated.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like
It's that.
100% of my communication.
Wow, that must be joyful and not
Yeah,
like nerve wracking at all. I imagine.
like they're great, but I'm always like, was that a happy exclamation mark or an angry exclamation mark? Oh God, I'm fired. I'm going home. What's happening?
It's funny. I was speaking with Kim yesterday during her episode, and we talked about how Zoom is a different tool whether you are an extrovert or an introvert. Like, for example, for her, it's so much nicer to have like Zoom calls with clients because she doesn't have to she doesn't feel the anxiety around like the meeting people in person. Like I'm paraphrasing, of course, but like it's nuances, right? And for me, for example, it's the opposite. I get bored with Zoom calls because I can't yeah, pretty much. I am so much more likely to go, rather than like to actually like be engaged because I feel like there is not a person there. It's all computers and things. So it's very different. And I didn't think of this problem, starting a new job and having to work with people that you've never met in person, which could likely be a bit of an outcome of what is happening right now. There are going to be some jobs that are going to be based for the foreseeable future online like this, where they were not.
People get used to this, like never meeting each other, whereas previously it was always a temporary situation.
Yeah.
Not knowing the person. But I think it's, I definitely, the big Zoom calls, you can get a bit bored. And like all the social cues of like leaning in because you want to say something, like they're all like, it's so hard to jump in. I'm doing a writing course right now to try and keep busy on Saturdays. And it's like the whole point of it is you're supposed to pitch your ideas. And like, there's one person who's like a professional writer, but everyone else is workshopping. And you sort of, and he keeps joking that like all of us are silent the whole time because like, and he's like, normally everyone jumps in, but like, it's so awkward with the delay. And when you're commenting on other people's work, it's even more awkward. So like all these barriers really keep you from actually saying anything. So someone will like say their idea and everyone's just like,
and doing like the Zoom reactions, the thumbs up.
Yeah,
that is as much
great
feedback as you will get. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange world we are getting accustomed to, I think. I don't know if it's going to last for long or not. What are your thoughts? Is this going to be like a thing that comes by and leaves, or is this going to affect the way we do things for a bit?
I think some things will be affected, definitely. I think what's going to happen is everyone sort of, they realize, I think one thing that will definitely happen is the idea of like working from home like 1 or 2 days a week will be much more reasonable. Like people just saying like, you know, because I like going to work as well, but every now and then you're tired. You're like, I don't want to talk to anyone right now. So I think that'll be super common. But I do think in terms of how long it will last, I have this strategy I like to do when there's something bad going on, where I like to bet on the other side. So no matter what happens, I win and I lose. I basically hedge bets of my life.
Yeah.
So like, so for this one, I've had bad teeth for a while. So I got Invisalign, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if my voice sounds strange to you, but that's why it is. I got it like 3 days ago.
Okay.
But my logic was like, if this goes on for like 6 months without any break, then my teeth will be fixed and no one will have ever seen me with these on.
Okay.
And if it breaks, and then it's like genius, right? Because like, what a good time to get your like orthodontics when like no one will see you. But then if it does break early, I'll be kind of bummed because like people see me, but I'm like, it's broken early. I get to see people. So
yeah, you win-win.
I'm happy either way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You put yourself in a win-win situation. Good strategy. Good strategy. Not that like Invisalign is that weird to begin with, but sure.
No, you know, still.
To each their own. Well, I agree, and I think it's going to stay for a bit. And what you said about people like more reasonably working from home 1 to 2 days a week, I think it's finally people realize that we can do this. There is mobility in work. There is remote working is so much more accessible than most people wanted to try. Because a lot of people, I think they were just stuck in like, oh no, we don't want to set up Zoom calls and like understand how microphones and things work. Fuck it, let's just like meet in person. Whereas now you have no excuses anymore.
Well, I think what it is, it's a one-off barrier to entry that once you do that once, everything else is easier. So effectively,
Right.
Everyone's set it up. So, and what like our agency has just done is they set up the remote server to be web accessible, which probably was a hassle. It was probably like 6 hours work. I don't know. But once that's done once,
Yeah.
it's done forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also like even using a Zoom call. I mean, first off, Zoom have got to be just like having champagne parties every day at their office.
Oh, 100%. But also trying to keep like imagine the pressure that you would be leaving if you worked at Zoom right now. You have like an increase of like, I don't know, 70, 80, 150 million users in the span of like a couple of weeks. It's not like you were planning for it. Like if your servers are not up to date, like you're always constantly going like, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Like the whole world depends on you. So, but in the meantime, you'd be sipping on champagne and like just like caviar for sure.
There's going to be so many new like system devs guys just sitting there just doing stuff.
Yeah, very true. What is new? What is the new apartment like in New York? Can you give us a little show of your working from home situation?
Going to sleep. So there's some funny bits. So again, I moved in yesterday. I haven't set anything up.
Yeah,
so this is my
we
bed,
just like to be nosy. Hello, bed.
So the last place I was at didn't have a desk, so I had to use this guy. You know, one of these dudes.
You mean desk guy? Sorry.
Yeah, desk guy, which is quite good. And when I moved to this place, so my brother used to live here, and he moved, and I moved straight in. So it was really easy for me. It was like a direct transition.
Oh, great! I didn't know your brother was in New York. That's awesome.
Oh, he is. He moved here like a year ago.
Nice.
But there's this desk, right, which seems nice, but it's too small and I don't fit under it. When I sit in a chair, because it's got this big drawer, so I can't even use it. So I've requested for a new desk from the office management. And then there's chairs, there's a whole bunch of stuff I still need to set up.
Yeah. It's a new place.
And I'll give you a quick peek.
In which area of New York are you?
I don't know. I'm in Lower East Side.
Oh, yes, where I was living. It's the best. I love it so much.
Yeah, it is a great area. And it's like all the cool places I've heard of and that I used to visit when I was here last time. I never really took notice of where they were. And I checked on the map and they're like all within like 200 meters of where I am now.
It's such a crazy good spot. I don't, like we said on the podcast, I don't miss New York, but I miss like something about the Lower East Side. It's something that like stayed with me and I really love it. And I can almost picture it. I get all giddy and happy about it.
No, it's so nice. I'll send you some photos. This is a random thing. I had a funny New York interaction today when I went to the shop to get some chicken, and I was at the butcher in line, and it's just like my favorite thing, and by that I mean least favorite thing about New York is just like whatever the opposite of conflict adverse is, just like pro conflict for like no reason.
Absolutely.
And I didn't see the beginning of this thing. Clearly, there's like social distancing rules. So there's all these like effectively like velvet ropes to line people up. And one guy's on one side of it, and there's a rope on the other side with some stuff. And the butcher dude is like, yeah, don't touch that rope. And the dude goes to lean over to grab his stuff, which like he's not meant to grab yet. The butcher's going to get it for him. But so he picks up the thing and moves it and goes and grabs it. And the butcher's like in the classic New York accent, like, oh, I told you not to move. I can't even do a New York accent. I'm walking here. But he's like, I told you not to move it. And then the guy's like, so I moved it. He's like, well, I told you not to. And he's like, well, I did. And then that was the argument for 15 minutes while I waited in line. He's like, well, I'm just saying, if I tell you not to move it, don't move it. He's like, well, I did move it, so what's going to happen? And it wasn't like he was even threatening him. It was like they're just saying words just for the sake of conflict. There was no need. And then he's like, well, it's an epidemic. You shouldn't be moving stuff. He's like, okay, I moved it. And I was just sitting there like, you guys are a pack of turds.
Said Julian 1 month after moving to his new city.
Not at all like that. My agency, by the way, is 70% Australian. It's very strange.
Really? Yeah. Did you know that, like going in, or did it come as a surprise?
I knew it was high. I didn't realize it was that high, but it doesn't matter. I'm never going to meet them.
Yeah, right. True. Makes sense. Well, last thing that I ask pretty much everyone is if there is any change that you had to implement in your life that you think you're going to keep after this is over.
Oh, wow. I've done a bunch of little ones. So number one is like, I don't know, you might be the same, if I'll go back to a gym again.
Yeah.
Because I've basically started buying things to work out from home. And I think gyms are going to take a big hit when people realize they can actually run without paying $15 a month.
That being said, like I still miss it immensely. Like it's such a different headspace. Going to a gym, going to a place to do a thing has always like helped me get consistent with it and like put effort. It's really difficult to me, at least personally at home, continuing doing these workouts, because after a while it's just like, I'm in the living room with a guy on a TV. Like it's not the same. So like I do really miss it. I don't think it's gonna be ever. The things are the gym and home workouts are never gonna be exchangeable. But
no, they won't. But and like I was saying with setups, like people have bought the mats, bought this. So anyone who was like close-ish, like it doesn't get all the way there, but if that's good enough for you, then like now people will just do that.
yeah, true.
All of those
true.
people who were happy with that. The other thing I did, by the way, on that first day when I got here, when I organized everything, I bought my apartment, which was useless, and I got my useless phone plan. Was I signed up to a gym the day before it shut down.
For a year.
Thankfully, he actually was pressuring me. He was like, "You've got to get the gold plan. Here's the money you'll save." And I was like, "I don't know if it's a good gym. I'm going to do month to month." Thankfully, I did that. Still cost me 2 months though for the first month and last month.
Yeah.
So I totally wrecked myself. The other thing is I tried to be productive. I got like a language app, trying to learn Spanish, stuff like that. I'll see if I keep that up.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
How
I
about
don't
you?
know. Cooking. I'm cooking a lot more. I'm enjoying cooking a lot more. Not that I didn't before, but there was, for the longest period of time, I enjoyed cooking for others and not myself. So I wouldn't, I don't know, spend time or effort or energy researching what I wanted to cook. If it was for myself, it's just like, food. That's it. Whereas now I kind of like, it becomes one of the highlights of your day. It's like, oh, it's lunch. What am I going to cook? Well, I have that eggplant. I can make an eggplant curry because of that. And I don't know, it gets me excited. And I realize that I can still get the benefit of cooking something interesting, even if it's just for myself. And I want to keep that up. That's mostly it. As soon as they lift the limitations and social distancing, I'm out of this house as quick as I can. It's just, you know me, I can't be in the same place for too long. It's been a month. I'm so close to climbing on the walls. But we have good friends.
Well, it
it's
looks like
a good
you're having
house.
fun.
Like, it could have been worse.
Yeah, no, you've done well. That's you either want what you have or what I have. You either want to be completely alone so you can just do whatever you want, or you want to have 4 good friends.
Yeah.
So like one end of the spectrum. If you're in the middle and you don't get your privacy and you don't get to have fun, then that's no good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have so many friends back in Italy, especially, that are in the same situation, where it's just like, I went back to, I don't know, live with my parents, or like I had these new roommates that just moved in and we don't glue well. And it's just like, whoa, that's a lot for a small apartment in the middle of a city where you are very much forbidden to leave. So.
Of all places. If I was thinking about this and I get so sad, if I was still in my old house, you know, the one you came to the party at,
Yeah.
with those 3 roommates, it would just be, oof.
Be a fun lockdown.
It would be nonstop Super Smash Brothers and just hanging out.
Yeah. Which is pretty much what happens here.
And
Dude,
Tetris.
thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank you
do
for having
this.
me.
We wanted to know how you were doing in New York and everything. Everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's been messaging me about it. Say like, hey, can you do one with Julia? I'm like, yes, just give the man a second. He's going through stuff.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm sought after by some.
Yes, very much, very much. We all miss you so much, man. But
Yeah,
we
I
wish
miss
you
you
the
guys
best
too.
with everything, and hopefully like things get, I don't know, better in New York real soon.
Yeah, I hope so. And everywhere, even Melbourne. I hope it all gets better.
Yeah. Well, like Australia is doing. I won't say it. It's fine. Let's not spook it. Let's not do it. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to close it here. I love you and I miss you, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Love you too, man.
See you,
soon.
Sydney, buddy.
Sydney, buddy.